beats rhythm. On the beat. On the beat.
What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
You guys might have thought we weren't going to show up tonight. Well, tomorrow is the night we have to actually take off. So we really wanted to try to make it for tonight. We're going to make it a quickie. It might turn into a Cowboys full chat. Yeah. Either way, a couple of things to discuss. As always, here, news, info, updates, as up-to-date and real as we can get. So you're going to see some center talk, some draft, some free agent talk, a lot of Zimmer talk, a little McCarthy feeling here. And, you know, Micah spoke on the Zimmer forecast here. So we're going to hear from everything and everyone on our Cowboys tonight. Make sure you guys also, drop the knowledge in the chat, drop the love from above, because we got to shout out those that make the world go around here.
That's
on the
right.
nightly here, My Cowboys Family, like our sponsor of the week, first time ever for him, repping in enemy territory.
JD from DC.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sponsor of the week.
I appreciate you. He's not just a sponsor of the week,
right.
though. He's also the membership gifting king.
Yes.
And he's had that crown quite a few times already.
3 out of the 4 last weeks. So this man's taking over. JD from DC. He's in DC, enemy territory, still proudly repping that star. And, hey, we'll see what happens as you go back-to-back on any of these boards. We shall see. But in the meantime, we also got to shout out the man, Jason Renfro, always somewhere on the board. 52 points on the stream, boss. Always appreciate you. And the man, McLovin, who is the Cash App king. He's taken over in a lot of ways. Currently on this overall board, he is still, I think he is in second place right now, back by like 6 back on first place, which is led by Marissa Sparkle, by the way.
That's right.
Much love to her. She may be coming for her first time ever. Sponsor of the week, we shall see. After tonight's stream, we'll only have Saturday and Sunday to go. So, we'll see what happens. And Marissa Sparkle, star level member, McLovin. He's in second on the overall board, but he's first place once again on the Cash App board. And he gained a little ground on Marissa because he also dropped $10 last night on the PayPal on the After Dark session kind of thing. So much love to McLovin, still in first place on the Cash App, trying to go back-to-back like our Dallas Cowboys. Also got to shout out Dwayne Broussard, pre-stream drops, $4 holler. I think it's a Go Cowboys. It was a DAC drop.
Go Cowboys, you already know.
Go Cowboys, you know how it is. And, of course, like I said, the McLovin drop. Also, we had Chris, Truth Bomb, and MJ Fowler, all three guys back in that Navy Blue Crew membership. Appreciate you guys on that side of things. And When it comes to the gifting board, don't forget that. Right now, we got 2 on it right now. In second place, Skeptical Fan has 2 gifted memberships, while The Lunatic is in the lead in first place with 5 on it. So 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate everybody. We'll see what happens towards the end of the week. In case you need to know how to drop the love in here, just type in the chat side if you want to drop the knowledge. Or you want to drop the love again on any of these boards. There's the super chat, as you know, Dwayne Broussard. We just talked about some new people in the membership. Another way to join it. You can gift memberships. There's a thanks button. But there's 4 ways you can try to attack the top spot of the Cash App side as well as the overall board. And how do you stop someone like McLovin from going back to back, baby?
Well, of course you have the Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family. You have the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
You know it. And we also shout out the top level membership groups here. You got the navy blue and the silver level too, but then you got the top shelf star level and over everything level membership, baby. Who are the representatives there?
Thank you very much to Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Andy Potts, Mary Alvarez, Marissa Sparkle, Dwayne Broussard, and The Lunatic.
Hey, all right. By the way, we'll be saying this a little bit more in the near future, but if you guys do want to try to get, possible, jersey win here, sewn and stitched, if you're in the star level or over everything level, the names you just mentioned, in a couple weeks, by the end of the month, we're doing our February monthly jersey raffle, and you got to be in the star level membership or the over everything level membership to be included in this. That's it.
Right.
That's all you need to do. A couple weeks away. That's a head start on that, but baby. I also want to know who's in the house tonight with us to talk some Cowboy football.
We have
Shout out time.
Nate Rosario. What's up? Sorry to hear that. I don't know what to say, man. Not a doctor, but I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Tommy Montoya, much love to you. Dropping those emojis. Drop them if you got them, guys. Tammy Soltis, here we go. Bruce got the toxic juice rolling through. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself.
Yeah. Go Cowboys. You know he dropped it.
Of course, Texas Twister. Stay safe out there on the road. Juan Jesus Centeno Zuniga. Hopefully. Said that right. CPG. I see you was watching, right?
Yeah, he's in the house.
Juan Carlos, what's up? Jason Renfro said it's time to start the party. Here we are.
Yeah, it is.
Thomas Garrett, the superior. Garrett. Double R, what's up? Much love. Lee Side Harold. Yeah, I guess you can stay here and talk
He's
real
always sneaking in.
Football. Freedom First, what's up? Doesn't look like you were first. I think 28 Alice beat you
She
to
was
it.
first today. So let's get
Brandon,
a roll. Go ahead.
1 or 2 more. Let me see. Brandon J, what's up? Rolando Rodriguez all the way from South Texas. Much love. So let me hand things back over to you now, baby.
Let's get rolling. Because it is kind of a quickie to transform into a little longer stream just because of some free agent names at the end of the stream tonight. So you want to stay tuned for that. But let's start off with a passing, unfortunately, of former Dallas Cowboy player at a very young age. Tony Hudson. I don't know if you guys remember him, offensive lineman, but former Dallas Cowboy player as well. He died today or yesterday at age 49, a couple days ago. Appreciate Skeptical for bringing this to my attention. Skeptical fan, of course, much love to him. But Oklahoma State University, that's where he played. In 1996, he was signed to the Cowboys in 96 as an undrafted free agent. However, his NFL career was briefly paused because he was dropped. He would have to be released because he had a benign tumor that was found. So in 1997, he was promoted to the active. He was promoted to active on the team's roster after being cut from the Cowboys, and a couple years later in 2000, he signed with the Washington Commanders. Of course, back then it was Washington Redskins, where he played until the end of the season. He ended his career all the way in 2021. Played with the Oakland Raiders, so he had a long-ass career.
Yeah.
like we're talking about like 25-year career overall, but he officially retired in 2021 with the Raiders. Hudson also was remembered by one of his compadres there, Randall Godfrey. If you guys remember Randall Godfrey, I know I do. Randall Godfrey, who played on the defensive side of the ball, had some words to say about his fellow Dallas Cowboy teammate and friend.
He said, quote, "Lost one of my favorite teammates and great friends in Tony Hudson last night. Please keep the Hudson family in prayer. Our 1996 Dallas Cowboy rookies had a special bond. He made several trips to Valdosta to help with my annual football camps. I cherished every moment that he had me crying after laughing so hard. One of my fishing buddies and much more. I just knew we would be connecting soon. He caught us off guard with this one. Take your rest, my brother. Gone too soon.
Yeah. So, again, just a little insight there from some of the 90s, 2000s Cowboys crew. Again, a rookie that came in '96 with, they both came in with each other there. So just wanted to.
Yeah, he's really young.
Yeah, 49 years old. So, unfortunately, maybe if we hear any more on that in the future, we'll give you guys the update on that. Now, of course, we know about the shooting that happened in Kansas City yesterday during the parade.
Terrible.
Multiple people were shot, mostly children. A lot of there was one person that was dead. We talked about her yesterday, a DJ in the area there, in the Kansas City area. But we kind of know more about it. Basically, it was a dispute which resulted in multiple people being shot, one killed at the conclusion of this Chiefs celebration parade yesterday. Little info is known about the suspects, but I think 2 out of the 3 they arrested are juveniles. So and if you watch the video yesterday, you see them getting caught. It wasn't a mass murder situation, a mass shooting situation. It was just 2 groups of people getting pissed at each other. Someone taking out guns. Someone got shot in the jaw. Someone got shot. Obviously one person got killed. A lot of kids got hit with bullets, but luckily they were all none of them were in critical condition or serious condition.
But still, this is absolutely horrible.
So again, Chief Graves from Kansas City said, quote, "Minors should not be in the possession of weapons." No shit. Yeah. But it's happening.
Yeah, and if they are, and something like this happens, the parents should be held responsible because, talk about gun safety or whatever, and, fine, get your kid a gun, no problem, but you're taking responsibility that you're not going to let your kid just fuck around with a gun.
What if the kids are getting the gun behind the parents' back?
I mean, I'm sorry, then that's one of the consequences. I don't know what to say. We'll
have a discussion on that after dark. I don't know if you can help the parents responsible for
maybe
that far-reaching. Yeah, maybe this weekend we go after dark. Might not have any after darks for a couple of days, though, guys. You want to put your knowledge here as far as Cowboys. That's what we're doing. We'll save the other stuff for the after dark. I think McLovin may be making his panel debut on Monday night after our stream here, kicking off a new week. After dark, he's gonna jump up there and be introduced to the panel world here, Mr. McLovin. So anyways, as I continue here, though, we have some other information, NFL news-wise. Seahawks quarterback, Geno Smith. Talk quarterbacks. Dak's contract's coming around the corner here. The extension should be coming in the next couple of weeks. Geno Smith, who has $12.7 million in his contract right now, that becomes fully guaranteed tomorrow, on Friday. Today was informed that he will remain on the roster through this week, allowing that money to trigger the guaranteed money there, the contract. So he will be staying. Yeah, I mean he earned that, and you got to think about it like this: $12.7 million, which converts now from injury guaranteed to fully guaranteed, assuring that no matter what happens, he gets paid. Good for him.
That's not even that much.
Yeah, and that's the point. $12.7 million to have your starting quarterback. The Seahawks believe that in today's market, with salaries for quarterbacks and every position, but especially quarterbacks soaring. For starting quarterbacks, the right decision was to pay the money now and just get it over with. Geno Smith will represent.
Yeah, why kick that tiny can down the road to make it worse?
Listen, Geno Smith represents a value to Seattle or any team that decides to reach out to see if they can acquire him through a trade, possibly, right? But Seattle has now locked him in for $12.7 million. You got a quarterback that can get you through the playoffs, at least make you a contender in some ways. So hey, not a bad contract written. And a roll of the dice for Geno Smith. He could have got a lot more if he was a free agent, but he decided to go and put this in there to fully guarantee the almost $13 million to start in the NFL at quarterback. So that's a real good deal.
Probably smart because realistically speaking, he probably looks the best under Seattle's system currently.
Yeah, no,
you get what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Any team that would try to acquire him, there's no guarantee that he's going to look as good as he currently does now.
Scheme wise, definitely fits it better. But again, so with the Jets, and he would look like shit. Of course,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Or the Vikings, he was like, I'm saying you can see different ways where he's improved himself and also needs to be in a better scheme fit for him. Now, 2 interesting names that were released from Chicago, the Bears today. The Bears released former Pro Bowl guard. And you know how hard it is to get guards out there. Cody Whitehair. So keep that name around if you guys think that the Cowboys should kind of do something interior. There's Cody Whitehair, a good offensive lineman, right? He spent the last 8 years in Chicago. And the Bears are giving him a chance to sign with another team before the actual free agency market hits in mid-March. So it's helping him out. They know they're done with him. So he's going to get a chance to get picked up by somebody else. Now I think
at least they're doing right by him.
you got to remember that this
speaking.
is the killer. I don't understand why teams do this in a way, because if you're released from your contract, you didn't play out your contract, which means they don't get compensatory picks for letting these guys go early before the actual contract is up. So I know it feels great to do that, whatever the reason may be. Maybe they wanted some extra room on their cap, but they have a lot of cap money, a lot of cap space. But I would not let a guy go and lose the possible 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick you're going to get back from him in the next season. That's just me. No offense to white hair. Now, here's the one that really surprised me as well, is the Bears released veteran safety Eddie Jackson, who's one of the better safeties out in the league. The Bears releasing him and Cody Whitehair combined their salary cap hits, $32 million. So that's how much they're clearing out by releasing both of these guys. Eddie Jackson, safety, veteran safety. He's now a free agent, can sign with someone, did not play out his contract, which means no comp pick for the Bears. And Cody Whitehair, and you don't get a comp pick taken away from you. That's something that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones loves. Cody Whitehair, who, again, a Pro Bowl guard, 8 years over there, 3 years of Pro Bowl guard. But my point is, his cut, along with Steven Jackson, $32 million opens up for the Bears. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, but we're going to be making some cuts, like names like Michael Gallup will be gone, in my opinion.
I agree.
LVEs and Cooper Rushes. Right there, I just named those 3 guys. It's almost $15 million open on the cap. Just right there, those 3 guys. If the Cowboys want to cut DeMarcus Lawrence to get $10 million back, if they want to cut Brandon Cooks to get $8 million back, another 18, you're going 32 now, $33 million open on the cap. I'm saying, you can open up on this cap. Yeah. And then when I talk about CeeDee Lamb, it goes to 43 because he gets you another 10. And don't let me talk about Dak. He gets you 25 to 35 more on top of that. So, we'll go all in, Cowboys. That's the way you do it. Now, a guy who went all out on the Cowboys, Dan Quinn, over there in Washington with Joe Witt Jr. Joe Witt today spoke about Dan Quinn specifically, and here's an interesting comment. I want to know what you think, baby.
All right, hit me.
Quote from Joe Witt about Dan Quinn. He's just the best human being I've been around in football. Take the football part out of it. When I moved to Atlanta, he wrote handwritten notes to my kids. I've never had a coach do that. So, just a guy who cares is Dan Quinn.
Well, Dan Quinn's a real one. And again, we have seen the loyalty that he inspires in others. I'm sure that's, like I said, it's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit upset that he went to Washington, just because I hate to see an NFC East team making solid moves, right?
Agree.
So I do think Quinn can help their organization get better. So.
Yep. So, again, then, as we kind of move into the Cowboys now a little bit more. Mm-hmm. There was a study out there that has basically their rating, and it's a silly study, but you tell me what you think. A study out there rating the drunkest NFL fan bases. Which fan bases drink the most? This is based on blood alcohol content readings.
Okay.
And so the number one team was the Tennessee Titans. Must be real shitty there. But they are the most drunk fan base in the NFL based on the blood alcohol content readings done by BAC Track. BAC Backtrack, they have a breathalyzer app.
Okay.
And they were able to acquire data from over 28,000 tests and then matched each anonymous observation to their NFL team, to who was their favorite team, to determine the fans that drank the most. So Tennessee was number 1, the Colts number 2. The Saints, number 3. You're talking about the blood alcohol level. The Titans were at .093. That's pretty high.
Yeah, that's a solid level of drunkenness.
The Colts at .8085. The Saints at .080. The Packers are 4th at .078. I understand that one. The Raiders at .78. The Bucks at .75. The Seahawks at .73, the Broncos .70, the Panthers .69, the Bengals .68, and then our Dallas Cowboys in 11th, with the 11th most drunken fan base.
I can't believe we're that low.
I know. With all the stress, I'm surprised. Other teams are stressing more than us. 0.065% is our blood alcohol level as a community, as a family, as a fan base. The least teams...
Scorpio. Sorry, just... Oh, that was a good one. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, I was gonna say. Well, actually, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, we're not 11th. Actually, we're a lot lower than that. because I forgot to mention the Steelers at .088, the Falcons .8085. There's a lot more actually. So there was actually hold on 10. We're 21st.
Jesus.
Tied for 21st with the Bills and the Lions.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not just 11th. We're 21st in the NFL as far as drunken fan base, which means we prefer our weed. I don't know, but two teams don't have any readings, which are the Jaguars and the Jets. They just don't give a fuck about their teams, I guess. And the Chiefs have the basically the lowest reading out there, .051. Although you can ask Andy Reid's brother. Yeah,
I know. I still do think it's very funny how much that correlates with the shittier teams and the shittier colder teams drink more than the good cold teams or the shitty warm teams.
Yeah,
which is more or less what you kind of get from that. For the most part.
Scorpio,
I'm making some
Scorpio said we'd be number one if Mosh.
JD from DC said, "Damn, we can't even win that poll." I blame Dak.
That's probably a good one to win. I will say.
By the way, the comment that made me laugh out loud really hard. Scorpio said, "I guess they've never been to Mosh's house."
I like what he said. He goes, "Should be number one if they breathalyzed Mosh." Mosh is probably he probably bumped that up a lot if they had his breathalyzer. So anyway, I thought we'd have some fun with that, even though it's kind of a rubbish stat. Now, I want to get into the Cowboy football side of things here as we, again, this is quick, right? This is a quick pinnacle. Now we're going to go hit the mountaintop and then go and finish up strong. So let's start with some things we might have trickled through yesterday's press conference. McCarthy's did speak yesterday at the Mike Zimmer press conference, and it was interesting for me to see how our head coach, Mike McCarthy, interpreted when he was asked. How was interpreted the Jerry Jones, the all-in comment.
Yeah.
If you guys, of course, know.
But we kind of have joked since we heard the comment, right? Like, what does all-in mean to
all
Jerry?
In. Yeah, Jerry. Right? We know what it means to Jerry. We know what he's. We don't know what it means, but we know what he said we're going to do is all in, all in.
We know what it means to us.
We know what it means to us. It's usually bullshit. So, all in, what does it mean to Mike McCarthy, baby? What did he say about the all in?
I would anticipate, with looking ahead at our key contracts that we would like to address, we will be all in. I would anticipate we'll be all in at the end of this year. So when you say, is there any thought? We will push the hell out of it. It will be going all in on different people than you've done in the past. We'll be going all in. We've seen some things out of some of the players that we want to be all in on. Yes, I would say that you'll see us this coming year not build it for the future. It's the best way I've ever said, and that ought to answer a lot of questions.
I mean, again...
Take a shot every time he says all in.
Yeah. I had a lot of all-ins from him, but again, he was asked, what does this mean to you? And again, he going all in on some players, going all in and not worrying about the future.
I mean, he was a little more specific. Like, he obviously did allude to the fact that, like, to him, all in also includes going all in on contracts for this year for guys for right now. Like, at least that's what I took from that when he says that, you'll see us... you'll say that you will see us this coming year, not build it for the future. Right.
That's the biggest interesting comment there.
That to me is the one that lets me think like, oh, okay, like, yeah, not to say that we're not going to do future shit. It's just that we're obviously going to do some more right now type of shit. And honestly, McCarthy can't afford to do future shit. The front office is obviously going to make whatever front office moves that'll benefit the team in the future.
Jerry Jones is the one that said we're going all in. Let's see what all in actually means from Jerry Jones. We know what it means to Mike McCarthy, going in on some contracts, some players this year, some now stuff, not future worries about contracts and that kind of shit. Let's hope that Jerry Jones also, and Stephen Jones also believe that, because he was then asked, well, that's what it means for you. What do you think it means for the organization, for the team, for the front office, for Jerry and Stephen Jones? And he was asked, what is this? How about for the team? What do you think as far as all in? What does that mean for the team? And what did Mike McCarthy say?
For the organization, I'm just trying to get a coaching staff hired right now. I think with that, obviously, we've had some really good teams the last couple years. We're disappointed we haven't reached the ultimate goal. I think it's just identifying the fact that it's important to go back and start the basics, and that starts with player acquisition. And the ability to get the new staff and get the personnel guys in the same room next week, and just make sure that we just stay on point and do the things that we need to do to make sure that we're winning. Building that confidence and the things that you need to do when it comes down to the stretch. In the playoffs, and then win playoff games and win championships. But as far as everything else, that's the way that I took it. That was more of a non-answer.
Yeah.
No offense. He literally just talked us through the steps of winning the Super Bowl. Like, well, first you have to go and play regular season games.
You have to assemble your team. You have to assemble your coaching staff.
You have to, yeah, exactly.
Well,
like, then you have to hire the staff.
Well,
then you
and
have
that's
to get
what he's trying to say is, what McCarthy is saying is, I don't want to answer that question for what the Joneses think on all in means. Because all in, obviously, we know it's not. Don't take it as a surprise, guys. In 2 months, and the Cowboys didn't do shit. You're gonna know why. Because the all in means an all in by the Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones standard, not by our logical standards, not by Mike McCarthy's standards. He doesn't know what the front office is going to do. He's looking to just get guys in place right now, and get guys, set up and the coaching staff and get the defensive stuff kind of, fine tuned, and then we'll go from there. He can't answer what the all in from the front office perspective.
Can you imagine trying to put words in Jerry's mouth? I mean, you could, but anyway. Back to you, my love.
Yeah, no, I think that. Give me a second here. Okay, I think we got it fixed. Hello. Okay, I think we're good now. I don't see my little guy bouncing up. There he is. Hello, test. All right, we're good now. Sorry about that, guys. I want to make sure I got any technical issues figured out. But McCarthy's view on the all-in, we discussed this in detail. Let's discuss Mike Zimmer in certain details here, because we'll be talking about him in a minute. But what about Micah Parsons' thoughts on Mike Zimmer? And that's one of the things that, oh, by the way, we're going to discuss that here right now. But first, I got to make sure I shout out the man, Jason Renfro.
Woo.
Not just the stream boss, 52 points, but he also dropped a $2.30 Cash App holler. And a Go Cowboys.
Thank you, Jason.
Much love to Jason Renfro. Always on the board in some shape, form, or fashion. Always repping here with with us here, the Cowboys that star for everything.
And always appreciate it.
Yes. Again. Go Cowboys. Thank you. So, Jason on that board.
By the way, Scorpio thinks Zimmer was a great hire. James Hurst said all in means for Jerry counting his pennies. So, Seabass said, all right, I see MCW, and I agree. We know that they're allergic to making the right move. But Jerry seems like he would hire Steve Wilkes because his team couldn't beat a Wilkes defense. Come on, go all in, Jerry.
I'm with that Steve Wilkes hire, for sure.
Again, I mean, that's one of the reasons that you have to imagine they brought in Zimmer. We talked about that, right? He matches up really well against those Shanahan offenses.
Yeah.
So, I just read Seabass's comment, right? Brandon J, what's up? Chris saying the Chris Jones comment there.
Yeah, I mean, that's important.
That he's staying with the Chiefs, that ain't going nowhere.
He said that at the parade yesterday that, Chris Jones, who's a free agent, we talked about him maybe, hey, did the Cowboys get him in town here and maybe replace someone? Mm-hmm. No, he's saying he's going to stay. He's saying he's going to stay in Kansas City. He ain't going anywhere. We'll see. But he's an expensive piece anyways.
If it's up to him, he's obviously staying.
Right. Well, we know we can't really afford him here, so it's not even a choice for the Cowboys. But staying or not, it's something we probably can't get involved with there. Rolando Rodriguez saying the same thing. Hire the 49ers, Steve Wilkes. I agree. As far as, the passing game coordinator, doing what Joe Witt Jr. did last year for Quinn, have someone like Willis come in here.
Wilkes?
I'm sorry, Steve Wilkes come in here and
what you talk about Willis?
Steve Wilkes come in here and let him be that guy. That would be probably a great thing. So, anyways, the bigger question is Zimmer. Zimmer's going to be leading this defensive kind of strategy, the language. The play calling, it's a lot of it's going to be all him. So he's the coordinator of the defense, and the big question people are asking is how will Micah be used? What does Micah think about this new hire? And Micah did speak on contract talks, which we discussed. He said CeeDee Lamb's in front, but then Parsons, he's formed a closer relationship when he came in as a rookie with Dan Quinn, who was his first year with the Cowboys as defensive coordinator. That's been happening over the last 3 years, and again. Quinn was sad to leave. Micah Parsons sad to see him go. But, of course, to the Commanders, even worse. But the point is, now we see Zimmer here with the Cowboys. What does he bring to the table in Dallas? As he returns to Dallas, and as our defensive coordinator again in Dallas. now with Micah Parsons at his fingertips. So again, what does Micah think? I really want to know what Micah Parsons' feelings are with the new defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. What did Micah Parsons say?
Just going off the track record of what I'm seeing, he's done really well, as far as really well in his career. From what I can hear, he's a very good coach. I'm excited to meet him and to see what he has planned for my future. I think he's had a top defender in each period with the Cowboys, so it's going to be real exciting. I think it takes a collective group and everyone being bought in. From the higher-ups to the coaches to the players to the practice squad, it doesn't matter who you are. I think everyone needs to be locked in. Everyone needs to buy in, and it starts with the OTAs. How many people are we going to get in there and learn this new system? How can we get the ball moving, learn how to work together, and maximize communication? Not shying away from anything. So, honestly, I think that's a very refreshing, comment there, right? Like, he's not being, overly, S-ing Zimmer's D in a lot of ways, right? But he did point out, hey, he's never not had good things happening when he's been a coach in Dallas and he's had people on the D-line. I'm looking forward to it, and, it starts with us, too. We make that commitment, he'll show us that commitment, and we'll build from there. So that growth mindset Micah has,
Smart, yeah.
And unfortunately, that is part of the business. You don't really get to play with the same guys for very long.
I want to bring up a point that I heard from Tom Brady.
Okay.
And this is interesting because this is from a coach that I heard him today on Pat McCarthy's show. I'm not going to go through his comments. It's not really that important, although I'm going to paraphrase some stuff, and it's going to relate to this situation.
Okay.
So one of the issues people have said, what Brady said, I don't care if I was going to play football till 50. I was not going to sign another contract with the Patriots. I know some of you guys in the chat who brought up good points said, that's more of the organization not bringing in the guys he needs, right? Than it is bad coaching or issue with coaching. We don't know what the issue was. Could have been Belichick. Could have been who's running the show, which is Belichick.
It definitely
could have been the
seems
front
to be
office,
implied
right?
that it has more to do with Belichick, or at least that seems to be the narrative out there.
Him being the GM, kind of running the show, that would make sense as well. But here's the funny thing. He was asked today on Pat McAfee's show, being around a guy like Belichick, especially in your rookie year, how did you feel? And then as you got known, as you were showing, you were the guy in New England year after year, he kept you humbled. How did that work? And the guy and Brady was like, he would always rail into me. And, at some point, I guess maybe Brady didn't like it, but he didn't say that. He said he actually liked it. It fed off. It motivated him to be kind of the whipping boy, because it showed everybody else on the team that you can fuck with Brady. If Belichick can talk that way to Brady, then you better watch out, because he's going to do worse to you. And that's kind of an interesting point. And Brady brought up a good point, and I think that this is related to when I related to this.
It almost sounds like Brady's also admitting to a bit of diva behavior as he got on in his years.
He never said that, but
but it's more the implication, like you said. He wasn't happy with maybe that sort of treatment. Still, it's kind of like. I don't know. I'm just saying, it is a little bit of a diva-ish situation to expect. I could tell you different behavior just because you went out there and did a bunch of stuff. How do you think you?
But that's the way it was in the first part of his career, and Belichick was giving him this hard love here, like this, and still Brady was feeding off of it, and the team fed off it, and the team won because of all of it. Not just because of Brady or the defense or Randy Moss or this. I didn't remember Randy Moss, but because it went with all these guys. It was Belichick that kind of kept them all motivated just by giving Brady a lot of shit sometimes. Yeah. And I'm just going to tell you something.
The mental.
Dak Prescott, for example, with Belichick here, would never, ever, I don't think he would feel like diva. You know what I mean? There's no diva here. They would be like, I'm taking this because you're a legend. And and everyone sees you giving me shit for missing a high pass. Yeah. Everyone's going to be like, I better run my routes right. I better block right.
I agree.
So I think that's another reason why it would help the Cowboy organization, the team, the offense. You don't just treat a guy like he's untouchable, right? So to me, look at the defense for a quick minute, and a guy like Zimmer, who is very well known to be hard on his players, okay? And how do you think he may treat Micah Parsons? He's going to be treating him like he's just like Dan Quinn had his guys, right? Everyone's his friend. No. No one's going to be Zimmer's friend, including Micah Parsons. And Micah seems ready to take the kind of shit he's going to have to take sometimes, as being the front man on this.
Yeah, Zimmer seems like the type of guy to say, "I'll be your friend when you win a Super Bowl." You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your coach.
And that's going to be interesting to see the difference between that from Quinn with Micah and now Micah with Zimmer, because Zimmer's going to coach him hard. And that's going to show everybody else, if you're fucking with Micah like this, we don't want, we know you mean business. I think it's going to be kind of a thing on defense where you're going to see that little improvement, Belichick style kind of improvement. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm throwing that out there.
We've also personally had those discussions of there's always different types of people, different types of players. Some players do respond much more to the positive reinforcement, and some players really do respond more to the kind of hard-ass coaching. Yeah. It's a bit of a balance. Usually you notice that there's multiple types of personalities in a building, so you get a little bit of that mix of flavor, right? There's usually that one coach everyone goes to that's the buddy guy, and there's usually one hard ass in the building that's trying to get shit done. A Belichick, an Andy Reid. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's usually somebody there.
But now
at least now Zimmer can definitely be a bit more of that hard ass, tough type of personality.
Who else on this team does Kellen Moore have that? Does Mike McCarthy have that? Did Dan Quinn have that? The answer is no, no, and no. There's nobody on this team, coaching-wise, that has that hard-ass coaching mentality. So at the very least, we're getting that, and hopefully his deceptive schemes and is learnable by the players. If those two things happen, I mean, Micah, I think, is going to be the leader of this defense and take the shit, maybe more so than he thinks he should. But I think he knows that's how you're going to make the team better, someone like Zimmer in the way. But my question is not just attitude or situation. I think we're going to be fine with Micah. Yeah. We'll tag with Zimmer here. But people are focusing on some of Zimmer's, and I'm going to get a little, kind of a schematic here. But when you talk about some scheme stuff, listen, double mug pressure, which is basically two linebackers in the middle, just think of it like that, over the center, over the guard, and you don't know who's blitzing or not. I have a short describing this. You guys can check it out on the videos a little later after the stream. But that double mug pressure, when you have both linebackers, which would be Micah in the middle, you don't know if Micah's blitzing, or is Damone Clark blitzing, like who's blitzing, let's just say, for example. You're looking at this and seeing how he could be effective from there when it comes to Micah Parsons. I think we're going to be fine when we do these kind of plays, these kind of things and schemes with Micah in the middle and blitzing in the middle. But I think another positive is that when you have this double mug package, which is, again, two linebackers, a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage. This is important to note here. A lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. The benefit of this double mug package is that it forces offenses to allocate more resources to try to solidify the interior of the line. They got to bring in a tight end next to the quarterback now. You got a fullback now. You have to have other guys pulling and then crashing down in the A gap in the middle to take that pressure off of the quarterback on a pass or a run play. Yeah. So that's the importance of the constant pressure he will provide on you, especially on third downs. This is what Zimmer does. So when you do this, and here's what my point is, when you have this double mug inside, the pressure inside from the linebackers, you can use Micah, split him out on the. You got to move him around. Just don't always use him over center. Yeah. You start off using him there. They start bringing in help inside. When they see it again and Micah's on the outside, now where do they lose pressure? Where do they lose protection? They're trying to stave off the interior pressure and blitz. Yeah. But Micah's on the outside now, where there's not as much help there. It's just one-on-one now. That's the way you kind of can make teams play to block inside, and after you keep doing that, Micah's coming inside, you move Micah outside, and now they're not going to move Micah outside when they have still two linebackers over the center. They got to protect the inside, and now Micah's on one-on-ones on the outside, on the right side or left side. That's the key here, moving him around. I don't care what you call him. I want him a pressure player on the line of scrimmage, linebacker, edge. I don't care. I don't care about the name. It's a Micah Parsons position, and no one plays that. He's a hybrid. And that's where he's a monster at. That's where he will take shit apart and ruin opposing offensive schemes, runs, and passing plays. So from 2018 to 2021, Minnesota's premier pass rusher was on the line of scrimmage most of the time, and is Daniel Hunter, who's a free agent, by the way, this year. He ranked in top 5 in unblocked pressure. Do you guys understand what that means? As an edge rusher, he was in the top 5 of being unblocked when he creates pressure. Why was that happening? Why was he getting unblocked coming from the outside? Because you use the double A mug, and you bring in both linebackers constantly applying pressure. Like I said, everybody goes what? Blocks interior, and now it weakens your outside pass blocking. That's why Daniel Hunter was unblocked a lot and always giving pressure. It's just the scheme that eventually breaks down when you start to over flood the inside. The outside is going to become easier to attack, and that is where you use Micah as well, both inside and outside in a game. So to me, when you use Micah Parsons, he could benefit in a massive way, even if he's not in the middle, standing over the center, still at the edge. But now you have two other linebackers over the center, and one could be Damone Clark, one could be Overshown, or a new guy we bring in, Bobby Wagner, right? It could be two guys over there. You can throw in there, Marquise Bell. I don't know. Just you can throw two guys looking at they're going to blitz over center, and everyone's going to help the blocking inside. That means Micah, DeMarcus Lawrence, whoever's on the outside, Sam Williams, are going to have easier jobs, not double teamed as much, and attack from the outside. And it shows in 3 years in a row with the Vikings. Daniel Hunter, he unblocked, top 5 in unblocked pass rusher in the league because the interior was getting pressure by blitzing. And the outside, the edges were being softened up because of that. So you guys feel what I'm saying here? I don't know if you understand, but this is what I'm interested in. Where you see Micah lining up inside, and then they start protecting inside. You pull them outside. They can't do both at that point. So how do you get more quality pass rush opportunities for the best player on our team? That's the key question. I trust Zimmer in doing this. Now, the last little couple of Zimmer comments here, thoughts here, for example here, because he's not the only guy that's going to be benefiting off of Zimmer. I think Donovan Wilson, I brought this up before. Yeah. Donovan Wilson is going to be a major player here, along with Marquise Bell, Overshown, and those kind of guys to be used on the line of scrimmage. So I think people should get excited about not just where's Micah playing and how is he creating pass rush, for an interior, for helping other guys, but also how we helping him out by getting the interior pass rush blitzing going. And I think you also got to look at Donovan Wilson as one of the major pieces for Mike Zimmer. He needs his safeties. In 2022, for example, Zimmer broke down. He was doing a little. He was breaking down film basically for some TV show, and he was breaking down basically a Cowboys blitzing play. It was against the Colts when we played the Indianapolis Colts with Quinn as our defensive coordinator. And he basically said, what type of blitz did Dan Quinn use? He said it's called the, quote, the double A package, which, by the way, guys, it is Zimmer's main defense he's used, his calling card. Okay. All right?
The double A package?
Yes, since the days with Parcells.
Double A battery.
Since the days with 2003. 4, 5, and 6, and beyond that, he used a double A pretty much the kind of blitzes he uses, a double A package. But the point is this: he then talked about how offenses are getting better when you blitz, more effective and burning you when you blitz.
So basically, how do you keep blitzing when teams keep getting better at stopping you from doing that?
How do you combat that? How do you stop a team from beating you when you blitz? And what was the answer Mike Zimmer gave? This was in 2022. So what was the answer he gave breaking Dan Quinn's defense down the way he would run the defense, and how would he slow down people burning you during a blitz? What did he say?
Now, of course, offenses seem to feel more comfortable versus the blitz than they did. Where once they were trying to block a bunch of hybrid guys, everyone now lines people up and down the line of scrimmage. It's kind of like Buddy Ryan's 46 defense in Chicago, where they had all these players up near the line of scrimmage. Because of the looks we're getting from offenses today, when you get to third downs, everyone has hybrid guys up on the line trying to do what we did with linebackers and A-gaps. Create confusion for the offenses and protections, and misery for the quarterbacks.
So now you're getting the picture painted here a little bit. I talked to you how we're going to help Micah, not just blitzing over center and all this stuff, moving him around, but then you're going to be able to blitz from the outside, from the edge, which with less overprotection on him, because they have to watch for the blitz towards the inside A gap when they're passing. On third downs, this is going to happen. And then you're seeing him referencing the Bears, Buddy Ryan, when he was a defensive coordinator for the Bears, in that 46 defense, where basically 4 down linemen and 6 guys. Remember, I said he plays quarters sometimes, but he had 6 guys moved up, Buddy Ryan, right into almost across the box and to the outside if you're a cornerback. But he always had guys pressure. That's the way the Bears did it with Buddy Ryan. And I'm just trying to say that's kind of the way you kind of want to create confusion. Where's the blitz coming from? Who's coming from where? 8 guys are basically on the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback has to make these reads. The offensive line has to make the protection reads. So this is where he's a master at doing these things, Zimmer. And Zimmer, I believe, the bonus pieces here, being, of course, Micah Parsons, but the utilization of Donovan Wilson and the highlighting of Marquise Bell as a hybrid linebacker safety. This is exactly what he wants. So I think Marquise Bell and Donovan Wilson are going to be used a lot, very important in Mike Zimmer's defensive scheme and personnel packages, where he uses, again, multiple packages. So it's going to be a lot of different guys coming in and out for certain situational things. So sometimes you're going to have Marquise Bell in and no Donovan Wilson, sometimes vice versa. Sometimes you'll have both. But that's what he's going to keep doing, moving his guys around and making it very, very difficult for the opposing offensive quarterback, the scheme, the offensive line, the coaches, to get a read and a beat on what's going on with the players that are going out there. So, again, these are the hybrid players, the Donovan Wilsons, the Marquise Bells, the Micah Parsons. These are the hybrid players that you'll see someone like Mike Zimmer getting the most out of them. You guys feel me on this?
Yeah.
So, any quick comments on any of these things here in the chat, real quick, before we move on? Two free agency here. Okay.
Much love saying, when we get hat on hats, we got to win those battles on offense and defense. Seabass throwing it out there, by the way, saying Micah's going to have to suck it up. It's a business league of professional men. Zimmer will get these boys together and hold them accountable, not be up in the booth box.
Yeah, he's going to be on the field. I mean, that's where I'm expecting him to be.
Yeah, Bruce got the toxic juice saying Jerry only goes all in when it comes to the World Cup.
That's Jerry's Super Bowl.
Well, the World Cup's got, cash to throw his way, so that's all he needs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Unfortunately. So, I mean...
The Jerry mindset. Yeah. So, anyway, that's all. Back to you, baby.
Real quick, baby. I wanted to just ask a question here, real quick, because as we live the Mike Zimmer thing into like free agency, I do want to ask when it comes to a player we've been talking about here, maybe the Cowboys re-signing. There's a video out. I put some of it out today. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the shorts after the stream. But Mike Zimmer could make re-signing Stephon Gilmore a priority.
All right.
Based on the video I saw, which was from in 2023, last year, Zimmer spoke about Stephon Gilmore when he came to the Cowboys in the beginning of the offseason. He spoke about how good of an addition that would be for the Cowboys and how much he liked them as a player. He worked them out. He was one of the guys that worked them out back in the combine. He said he was a guy that meets all his abilities.
Metrics.
Yep, he can play press. He does, he hasn't played too much at the Cowboys with Quinn last year, it seemed, but he can do all the things that Zimmer really wants this kind of cornerback to do. And then he also spoke about Trayvon Diggs and the combination of both guys, what you can do. He was kind of like saying, man, this is like, it's almost unstoppable if you use these guys right, which, of course, hopefully Diggs comes back full strength as possible. But this is, he says basically Trayvon Diggs' strengths and vision, he needs to improve a little technique, he said. But outside of that, and he's kind of a risk taker. Outside of that, though, he's a big guy. There's ways of using him, and you can play him press and be dominant as a press kind of corner, which is what Zimmer's going to try to do. So as a free agency kind of discussion goes into things, Stephon Gilmore is a guy you got to put maybe a little higher on the radar for someone like Zimmer, who might, given the money he's going to be able to use, right, for this. That might be the guy we have to more focus on something like that, getting a guy like, you're not going to be able to get a Jalen Johnson or L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
You're going to have to settle for a little banged up Stephon Gilmore coming in halfway through training camp. But at least he knows the defense, he knows the guys, and hopefully he'll know the system through Zimmer, studying beforehand. So, I mean, just a little thought. What do you think about that little quick, the fact that they have that connection? It kind of ups it a little bit, no, for Gilmore?
I mean, I would say so for sure.
Yeah.
And again, especially if he falls under that category of guys where he's looking at the Cowboys and he's like, I can fix that. So why not? So, let me see. What's up? Javel de Bustas. Thanks for coming through, dropping by. Appreciate you.
Thank you for the thumbs
up. So,
up.
Seabass said, good. I want Gilly to come back.
Hey.
Again, I agree. For the right price, which I do think that now in the situation he's in, I can't see him being the wrong price. You know what I mean?
Again, you guys do know the situation, right? Hurt that right shoulder, tore his rotator cuff, has to have surgery.
Kind of a long recovery.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months. So they're putting him basically at training camp, a little bit, maybe into it even. So again, to me, it's
keep that in mind.
Yeah, so that will lower his price. But if he's back full healthy, which he should be, matching him up with a healthy, knock on wood, Gibbs, hopefully fully healthy. We know how they come back from these ACLs. But that, along with Bland in the slot, and again, remember, what is the number one thing that Mr. Mike Zimmer handles out of everything. What's his specialty? Secondary.
Yeah.
So he knows what kind of guy he wants. You got to trust him on that. Kind of the way we trusted Quinn on the pass rush side. You got to trust him on this side.
We trusted, in Zim we trust.
Yeah, with what his specialties are, right? So let me go into some free agency stuff here as we wrap it up here. I don't know why our advertising, like our MCF hellos and all that stuff's not working tonight. So
it's all right.
I'll have to fix that for the next stream. But you guys know, hit the like, thumbs up for the stream, hit the notification bell. If you hit the notification bell, so you know when we're going live, put it to all videos, and of course subscribe. Well, guys, we're almost at 32,000 subscribers. We're just flying up there. So hey, we're almost at 32. Every 1,000 is another little mini celebration on our side. You guys been awesome. I appreciate all the OGs in the house and all the new Gs who joined into the family here, part of the family. So when you look at guys that can help someone like Mike Zimmer and this defensive side of things, I look at some quick names. We talked about a lot of different players. We can dive deeper into cheaper guys that, we'll see if the Joneses are probably more favoriting a cheaper player. And we talked about the high value guys, right? We talked about the ones I like the most, Devin White from the Buccaneers. There's a couple other names I threw out there the other day that a linebacker. There's a lot of good linebackers that are run stoppers out there floating around. So to me, and this is a name I also mentioned, one of the guys. This is gonna be the third straight fucking year I'm saying this name, and I don't know if it's a Zimmer kind of guy. I know he was a Quinn guy, and that's the Seattle Seahawks linebacker Bobby Wagner. Former, he's a free agent now. He went to the Rams, went back to the Seahawks. He's been great wherever the fuck he goes. 33 years old. Can he be a little cheaper? I wish I could say that, but again, 9-time Pro Bowler. He was there again this year. One of the best at stopping the run. All around, great player. He can cover as well. How much does he have left in the tank? That's the question. So Bobby Wagner, may he drop a little bit in price here when it comes to value going forward as he's going to get older and older? Well, in 2023, he said he showed he's not done yet. Led the NFL in tackles. Bobby Wagner, a guy I've been talking about for 2 years. We got him for $8 million. That was $2 or $3 million too much for old Stephen Jones. So will we try to go after him? Does he fit the Zimmer scheme as that linebacker in the middle that can blitz, cover, and stop the run? Wagner can do those things even at 33 years old. Again, he was named an All-Pro for the 10th season in a row. And now he's back headed to free agency as of this moment. By the way, the 183 tackles that Bobby Wagner had this season in Seattle, career high. Career high. So Dallas, we are in fucking obvious, desperate need of, I would say, off-ball, run-stopping, interior, middle linebacker types. Types, right? It's hard to put a label on all these guys. But, kind of what LVE did, but better. That's Bobby Wagner. You could look at Damone Clark. He ain't ready yet. Marquise Bell's too small. DeMarvion Overshown really going into his rookie year. And, even though he's going to be stronger and more ready to go, still coming off the injury, still a little undersized. I'm sorry. He ain't ready either. So for this Zimmer defense, we need a run stopper in there that's going to really, kind of make those tackles, which Bobby Wagner would be the best for that, literally. So, again, Bobby Wagner, not just a linebacker, which the Cowboys need, but we need experience and ability. Bobby Wagner would give us experience and ability. This would be an exciting signing. And again, I don't know if he's going to be $8 million. He might be $10 million now because everybody's contracts are going up. I say Devin White, these are targets for the Cowboys at linebacker with a guy like Mike Zimmer. Now, Zimmer used undersized linebackers as well, very well, with Dat Wen and what was his name, Dexter Coakley. These guys were undersized, and he still had us, I think, best defense, top defense that year with those guys at linebacker. So I think that Marquise Bell, Overshown, Damone Clark, I think we'll be fine with these guys. Even some safeties that drop down if you got, Donovan Wilson at times, and then of course, throwing in there Micah to play some snaps at quote unquote linebacker. we're okay. We're pretty good there in this Zimmer kind of mindset with the kind of linebackers he's good at. But we need that one full-time run stopper. And LVE, we need to improve on him. He's not even going to come back most probably. I hope he has a great career, continues his career, but it looks like just we're worried about his health right now. So Bobby Wagner gives us everything times 2 than LVE could ever give us. So to me, this would be a worthwhile expenditure for the Cowboys. The concerns are the age, and I agree, but the Cowboys are also likely to draft a linebacker in this draft. So why throw this new linebacker into the mix and then hope he can do everything that we need him to do? That's the Jerry Jones way. That's the Jerry Jones all in. That's not all in. All in is getting Bobby Wagner. And this year, let this guy learn off of Bobby Wagner, a linebacker we draft in the 2nd or 3rd round. That's my point here. So to me, if you're truly going all in, we got 5, but you want that 6, why not throw a 1-year deal at a proven commodity that will make those tackles inside, cover the tight ends and guys you need to in zone, and is a veteran that's going to help you, expand the minds of the Damone Clarks, the Marquise Bells, the Marion Overshones, and the Micah Parsons at the actual linebacker position. I mean, that kind of leadership and skill set that Bobby Wagner would bring, it's kind of like what Sean Lee brought, So we'll see what happens. He's, he has veteran presence, Bobby Wagner. Coverage skills that are fantastic for a linebacker. Fantastic, obvious run support. He got the most tackles last year, career high for him. Other than the age, this could be a huge signing for the defense. If you're going all in and you don't have to even spend top dollar for Bobby Wagner, why would we not do this, guys? So what if it's only a 1-year deal? So what? We're not worried about the future, right? Right, Mike McCarthy? What do you guys think out there in the chat here? I'm looking in the chat right here. Overshown Micah, but they're still small, right? Our DT should be better than last year. We'll get to the DTs. I got a name for you at DT. Yeah, again, Heavenly, says Seabass. That's the guy. Pay the man, a.k.a. the actor, says Thomas Garrett. Patrick Queen or Bobby Wagner. I mean, Patrick Queen will be more money, in my opinion, because he's younger. Similar to, I guess you could say Devin White, to that kind of mindset there. There you go. Brandon, thank you for that. Aquara signs with the Eagles. Bring it on, Eagles. Bring it on. Frame Ripper. It was, what was his name? Troy Hudson, offensive lineman for the Cowboys. We discussed that a little bit earlier. Rolando Rodriguez in the house said, why do the Cowboys always sign hurt players? Insanity. Go Cowboys. I'd rather they don't. But, again, someone like Bobby Wagner, far from injured. Knock on wood. Someone like LVE, always injured. And we knew this day would come when we would be, seeing him on the outs. So Bobby Wagner, one of my top. Again, I've been targeting Bobby Wagner and there's Devontae. There's what's his name, Levante David, who is also a very good linebacker out of Tampa Bay, who's also a free agent. So him, Devin White, someone like who I believe Bobby Wagner would be a solid pickup for 1 year for the Cowboys. That's what I would do. One of those 3 guys. Can you give us that there? Jerry and Steven Jones. You're fucking supposed. And I stress the word supposed. I got to put their clowny faces up because Jerry Jones said it was all in. So you guys agree? Hit a 1 if you agree that going with any of those names I just said, Levante David from the Buccaneers, Devin White from the Buccaneers, or Bobby Wagner from the Seahawks, all these guys would be about $10 million or less. And I told you guys how we can make the room for it. I'm not going to go through that again. That qualifies as an all-in type move. If you go anywhere else, you get some guy, you get Klein from the Bills. You're not going all in. You're clowns. So we're keeping all-in tabs here throughout the whole offseason. Trust me on this. You can bet your asses we're going to keep tabs on these motherfuckers. So, anyways, so you also got another guy on the interior that I think is going to be is exactly what you guys keep talking about here. It's about the defensive tackle spot. We got Osa. He's a good 3-tech. We got other guys here. Neville Gallimore. He's probably gone. So, you got Chauncey Golston. He's going to have to play hard to stay, to stay on this team. He could supposedly play inside and outside. He hasn't played much at all. So we got a couple guys inside that are going to hang around. Mozzie Smith, Hankins is a free agent. When you look at the interior defensive tackles, not the edge rushers, but you look at the interior defensive tackles, we're kind of weak there outside of Osa, who is more of a speed pass rusher that gets a little pressure. But the bigger thing is going to be we need a run stopper. So if you could bring back Hankins, if you could put on some poundage, some weight on Mozzie Smith, so he's back up to something like 320, 330 instead of 295, you could get him a little bit bigger, teach him better. I don't know. That's up to you, Zimmer. We don't have a defensive line coach or a defensive assistant line coach, so that's something we got to figure out to work on that interior. But I say there's a couple names that are out there you can get. Jonathan Hankins, I say get 2 of these guys to add with the guys I just mentioned. Jonathan Hankins. I think Isaiah Buggs, who was released, picked up, now is a free agent. I think what I'm trying to say here, there's a couple good names out there. And one of the names I came across, this was last week, Colts defensive tackle, Grover Stewart. He'd be perfect for what we need. He has, the skills that Zimmer would look for at that position. The Cowboys, if the Cowboys with this new Zimmer defensive coordinator role here are serious about stopping the run, one of the first moves we should make is go and grab Grover Stewart. He's one of the best defensive tackles on the entire market right now. And he's not a great pass rusher. He just is a consistent double team taker, double team eater, doesn't get moved back, and a consistent specializes in stopping the run, his run defense. In 2023, he was suspended for 6 games. But even with that, he had 5 tackles for loss, drastically improved the numbers of Colts run defenders that were, when he was gone, they would not ever make tackles. They were not stopping the run. When he was there, they became a good run-stopping team, believe it or not. That's what we looked like when Hankins was there and injected into this team halfway through the season in 2022, and our run defense improved when we had Hankins in the game. So, someone like this, at that position, a spot we just went a first-round pick last year, is there really a chance we're going to be able to pick up someone like Grover Stewart? He would cost the Cowboys a lot of money. We just talked about $10 million for a linebacker. This guy could be 8, 9. They're saying potentially over $10 million as a defensive nose tackle. He is an on-the-field difference maker. No question, no doubt. But will the Joneses make that move? I don't think so. So that's why you got to look at maybe a lesser guy like a Hankins, and you throw in there an Isaiah Buggs. These are the guys that I would focus on over someone like Stewart. Although I would love the Cowboys to go grab him. He would be a game changer for a run stop. This is another all-in kind of move, right? We talk about the all-in. This would be an all-in if you really want to, you really want to make an impact for your linebackers and stop that run. This is how you do it, by grabbing Stewart. So, look, the Cowboys have not had a true run stuffer with the ability that Stewart has in a long time, much better than even Jonathan Hankins, right? So you can put these guys in together. This would be the last piece that I think the Cowboys would truly need to find to have maybe a top 3 elite defense, consistent defense against whoever we play in the NFL. Even with Zimmer and a new coordinator coming in. Again, former first-round pick Mozzie Smith, he needs to improve this offseason. If he does, you have Stewart and Mozzie Smith and Osa Odigizua going forward. That would be nice, but a big if with Mozzie, right? He's a bust so far. He's got to come back stronger this year. We're in trouble. Or he's in trouble. We're in trouble. Everyone's in trouble. So the Cowboys were getting destroyed last year, allowing 143 rushing yards against... Well, we allowed 143 yards against the fucking Packers in that embarrassing loss in the wild card round. And I'm going to tell you guys, every year against teams that want to run against us, that are better at running, if we don't fix this, this will continue to happen. Regular season and playoffs. To me, Stewart solves the problem and also solves the run issue for the most part because of his presence there, opening up other guys on one-on-ones on the defensive line and opening up cleaner lanes for the linebackers. Not have to worry about being blocked by 300-plus pound offensive linemen. So that's the importance of that position. It's such an important thing. We have to hope Cowboys go all in, and Mike Zimmer pushes something like this. So now, when I flip it over, let's talk a little offense here as we wrap it up. Let's get your last thoughts in, your last drops in, your last, everything, anything's in right now because another name I'm going to throw out there is on the offensive line, the other side, and that's offensive lineman from the Lions, Graham Glasgow. You might have heard his name. We remember him against the Cowboys in that New Year's Eve game. But again, for the Cowboys, there's probably always a constant need to always get the best offensive lineman in the mix. Tyron Smith being a free agent. Tyler Biadasz being a free agent. And I'll get back to Tyler Biadasz in a minute. Both these guys are headed for free agency. Terrence Steele has been struggling with the ACL, since he's come back from the ACL injury. And the current depth on our roster at the offensive line is scary. I mean, TJ Bass, all right, backup center, backup guard, backup though, right? So, again, we're going to talk about Biadasz in a moment. Will the Cowboys sign him or not? There's going to be some options here. But for the Cowboys, if we let Tyron Smith is gone and we don't re-sign him for about $7 million, $8 million for Tyron Smith at most, then we maybe should look at someone. If we don't sign Tyron Smith, you push Tyler Smith to the outside at tackle, and you get someone like Graham Glasgow, possibly, right? An experienced, still improving guard, rather than drafting a rookie. This would be like your draft pick. So if you pick up Glasgow, great year in Detroit last year, but still won't cost. Again, he will not cost the Cowboys that much against the cap. Why? He's not going to be a top free agent piece right now. So this move would secure the interior of the line and basically an improvement over Biadasz because, again, guys, Glasgow plays guard, but he could also play center, an experienced guy. So you could get a center with this guy, guard center, right? You can still re-sign Tyron Smith, and you still keep that left tackle Tyron Smith, left guard Tyler Smith, center Glasgow. And if you do that, we'll hope that Terrence Steele gets better. And, of course, you got Zach Martin on the right guard. So that would be a pretty solid freaking upgrade there, an upgrade over someone like Biadasz. Now, we could also, with that, even with fixing Glasgow in the interior, whether it's guard or center, we can also let Tyron Smith go. And the Cowboys then could draft a tackle early in this draft, and that could solidify the offensive line with the now and the future. It would be a pretty solid, top-notch offensive line. And that could help put the running game back on track. Outside of protection for Dak and the scheme for McCarthy, it puts the running game back on the map a little bit. Not that we should run more, but we should run more effectively when we do run. So Glasgow, when you look at his pass protection, he only allowed 2 sacks last year on over 1,000 pass rushing snaps, or 1,000 snaps, at 1,061 snaps in total last year. He also played in all 17 games. He played in 17 games the last 2 seasons. So he hasn't been overused, but he's also, maybe been a bit banged up there. But the consistency that he will bring to the Cowboys when he's on that is going to be, something you really can't afford in a rookie unless you go like first round and you got to hope he hits. So to me, when you look at the interior and I look at the offensive line, we talked about, getting someone like Glasgow, but what about other options? Because to me, Tyler Biadasz is a guy that we should still think about signing possibly. We're going to be, the numbers are like 3 years, $21 million. So it's about $7 million a year for a center that knows the scheme, is in tune with Dak and the quarterback and the offense. So what are the odds that you can draft a guy better than Biadasz, which there's definitely possibilities in this draft. When you look at our current center in Biadasz and you look at the draft, I just talked about free agency, but let's say you talk about the draft. There's 3 guys that are better, I think, than Tyler Biadasz. We talked about Frazier in the past. We talked about Barton in the past. But the guy I like probably the most is Jackson Powers Johnson, which we also spoke about in the past, who's a center/guard. And when you look at him, guys, as a fit for the Cowboys, okay, he's the best center in the draft in this year. He's looked about being drafted and picked up somewhere between 25 and 30th. We picked 24th. So if you want to not sign Biadasz for $7 million a year, you might want to use your first-round pick on a center guard named Jackson Powers Johnson. So let me just explain it this way. Best center in the draft among quite a solid group of centers. So he's already a great center. And there's a lot of great centers in this draft, and he's the best one of all these guys. So if you want him, here's your chance, Cowboys. Another Travis Frederick type move? Maybe. Again, he's faced some real tough competition while playing in Oregon, managed to stay clean and allow 0 sacks during all 3 of his years in Oregon. He's shown to be a consistent player on tape. Both power and technique is NFL ready from day one. So you're getting a guy that's just out the box, 10 times better than Biadasz when he came out the box, so to speak, in the 4th round. And then you're getting a guy who is already kind of, it would probably, I mean, it would be, within a week, I think would bypass Tyler Biadasz. That's maybe where we want to go right there. That would be our center for the future if we draft someone like Jackson Powers Johnson. So when you look at him, guys, and he's got, I think, one right knee injury. That's the biggest thing about him, the knock about him. Outside of that, though, he's shown to be consistent on tape, power and technique, day one ready. Overall, Powers Johnson is a pure enforcer as a blocker. Think of Tyler Smith, but at center. Some small technical nuances he still needs to learn, and he'll pick that up quickly in the NFL. And in doing so, I'm going to guarantee this guy will be a Pro Bowl lineman early in his career. As a rookie, year 1, 2, I don't know, kind of like Tyler Smith. In year 2, Pro Bowler. So I think that Jackson Powers Johnson is a power move for the Cowboys to really continue to work on what we are kind of, we've always kind of hung our hats on, that offensive line. You can never go wrong with a possible future Hall of Fame center offensive lineman. And, Travis Frederick probably would have been that for the Cowboys if he didn't have that year Barnes syndrome situation. So, anyways, that's the Biadasz points there. That's kind of my wrap up for the night. The wife had to say goodnight again during my long discussions there. I see USMC in the house. Appreciate you. Yes, big power move. If the Cowboys make any of these kind of deals here, these moves. But I personally think the Cowboys going for a center in the 1st round is a very, very good move for the Cowboys. If they want to go for a guy behind him, there's a couple other centers that are still better than Biadasz. You can go in the 2nd round and grab these guys as well. One of these guys probably won't be past the 3rd round to try to get one of these guys, and they still will be better than Biadasz. So that's what you want to do if you don't want to pay Biadasz $7 million a year for 3 years, right? So let's go back here real quick. Lost in translation here said linebackers the only level we don't have veteran experience. Exactly, Bobby Wagner. Boom, right? Frame ripper in the house. We got Hankins on the line, Gilly in the back, Wagner in the middle would shore up the defense. Yes, and I think one other guy with Hankins, another defensive tackle, Isaiah Buggs for cheap. Throw him in there. Jalen Smith trying to come back to the Cowboys burn bar. That's not going to happen. If he comes back, we're in trouble. Scorpio said Dan Quinn had Mozzie lose weight so he would be less effective against Washington. Maybe. But I have a feeling that you're going to see more power, muscle, and weight gain by Mozzie this offseason. Bad Intention says Mozzie will be fine. Can we cut the kid a break? I agree. We do have to cut him a break, but I did this with Jalen Tolbert last year, saying let's just see how he does with an easier offense. Boom. Much better. I think we're going to see hopefully an improvement with now maybe a guy who fits the Zimmer defense maybe somehow better. We'll see that hopefully this season with Mozzie Smith and that jump forward, right? So that's it for me, guys. The wife did say goodnight while I was rambling. And I'm going to do the quick shout-outs here and close it out for the night. A quickie here on MCF. Tammy Soltis in the house. Here we go. Ty Montoya. Appreciate you, Brandon J. Here dropping some all kinds of info. Rolando Rodriguez, Nate Rosario, C. Bass in here. The wife, of course, stopping in. And she was really just going to do the intro and have to go, but she stayed for some of the discussions, which got to give it up to her, guys. JD from DC in the place to be, repping in enemy territory. James Herr. Bruce got the toxic juice. Scorpio. Juan Carlos, hell yeah, dropping them like it's hot. We also got Seabass, Brandon J. Rolando. Who else? Orion Files here. We get hat on hats. We got to win those battles. Offense and defense. Yeah, trenches especially. Jovel de Pustas. In the Justas. Dustin Roberts, what is up? Let's see who else we had. Thomas Garrett, I'm telling you. Bobby Wagner, I'd still take him. Frame Rippers, ripping it up here. Orlando Rodriguez. We got Scorpio hit a 1. Wants to do that. Bad Intentions, USMC. He said, let's get back to the Cowboys like in the day. Like, like we were all time in the old school time. We had in 1968, 1977. That's really back in the day. I'm thinking back like the 90s, that's what I remember. But I appreciate you guys. Again, can't do this without your guys' thoughts, your comments, drops of love from above. Let me shout you guys out that dropped the love tonight. People in the membership like MJ Fowler, Truth Bomb, and Chris. We got McLovin in the PayPal. We got Dwayne Broussard. And we got Jason Renfro in the Cash App. So appreciate every single one of you guys who do drop the love here on occasion. And help out the channel any way you do. Again, extra special shout outs. Some of the names you heard me screaming out there. Sponsor of the week is JD from DC. Much appreciation. First time ever for him as the sponsor of the week. So great news there. Also, he's been the third out of 4 times. 3 times in 4 weeks. JD from DC is the membership gifting champion. Thank you so much, sir. Again, he took it over last week and now makes it 3 out of 4. And in the last month. So that's domination now. In the lead, well, I'm going to say this. Another shout out to somebody whose first time on here as a champion is the king of the Cash App. Boom, McLovin. Hell yeah. And currently, he's looking back to back. He's in the lead in the Cash App side of things. He's also second place on the overall board, only behind star level Marissa Sparkle, who she's in first place, coming for that sponsor of the week. Battle ensues. We got only 2 days left. Tomorrow we're off, but we're going to be back Saturday, Sunday, kind of wrap up the week and crown some champions. You know how that goes. And don't forget, guys, when it comes to the gifting membership side of things, if you're in the membership, you can gift memberships to others here that don't have memberships. But one of the ways to do that, once you do that, you get on the board here, and like Skeptical Fan, dropping a little gifting love the other day. He has 2 gifted memberships this week, trying to go for the crown. But one guy's in front of him right now, and that is the Lunatic, who has 5 gifted memberships. So, yeah, got 5. He's got 5. So thank you guys on that side as well. And, hey, the Lunatic's in the lead, trying to break that JD from DC streak. We got, let me see. Yes, we do have PayPal, USMC. It is MyCowboysFamily at gmail.com. That's how you can find us on PayPal. And that also will count as a Cash App drop. So, yeah, it's in there. Let us know, though, if something has ever dropped in there. It's usually easy if you guys tell us, so we can check it and shout you out and put you on the board as you deserve, as you rightfully should be. So, again, guys, can't say enough about your guys' love and support and help. And by the way, speaking of, I do have to shout out the man, Jason Renfro, who always is in the mix here, guys. Always in the mix. Let me see if I can get this done right here. Oh, there we go. Because he dropped a $2 Cash App holler. JLou2. He said, how close am I to the top of the Cash App? Let me just a quick glance here for you, sir. Not unstoppable, I will say that. Right now, let me see. So, let me see. I'll do some quick math here. You're about Michael Jordan away, about Rico Dowdle, so you're 24 away in the Cash App side of things there, Mr. Jason Renfro. Just wanted to shout you out there. And I guess we can go from there, right? So you're like 20, just rounding it to 25. That's the easiest way to figure that out, I think. Yeah, 25 is just easier. So whatever that total is, there you go. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up, make sure I got everything here caught up. I'm all by myself. The wife had to dip out. She does have an earlier schedule tomorrow morning, than usual. So I knew it was going to be either a no stream from her or a short stream from her. So just happy that she was able to do as much as she did tonight. Yeah. So there you go. 23 to 24 to be the record, the number you need there, Jason. 24 to pass him up. Just wanted to shout him out, Mr. Jason Renfro. And I think I shouted everybody out for tonight here on that side of things. We always appreciate you guys here dropping your knowledge in the chat. We try to hit you guys up in the totals. Yep. Yeah. Hey, brother, Jason, McLovin, he dropped multiple tens in the After Dark. So yeah, he's at 60 right now. And so you got a little bit way to go there, but definitely in range for the Cash App crown. McLovin's trying to go back to back, and he don't rep that star. Loves MCF here, loves the family, but he don't rep that star. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all. Thank you all as we get ready to, get on out of here for the night. You know why we do this. You know why we do this each and every evening on My Cowboys Family. But first, it's about that Jason Renfro drop. Another $2 holler for the man. And when I do the numbers here, Jason, I'm pretty sure you made a jump here somewhere over somebody. All right, so that'll be definitely updated and fixed as you keep stacking towards that top spot on the overall board as well. You're actually next in line to McLovin. So, you're getting closer to trying to pass him up, even though you're still a little bit behind. So, we got the numbers there. He said it have dropped 30 on the first day after dark. Yeah, I know. He dropped, pretty sure he dropped 50 that night, and then he dropped 10 last night. So, yeah, that's how he got there, Jason. A lot of you guys got me that night. I will say I almost got to the vomiting point there of the party that we had after this stream. So that probably won't happen too often. But you guys really loaded me up that night. Took Marissa, you, and of course McLovin to knock me off my feet there. Anyways, guys, appreciate everybody in the house with your drops of knowledge, your drops of love. But of course, we do this every single night here on My Cowboys Family. Because that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here on this channel, we always rep that star over everything. And you know what else we do here? 6.5 years plus on YouTube. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, Go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond. Again, thank you all for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long, all night. Thank you guys for that. Thank you also for the drops of love from above, whether it's on the After Dark side, whether it's gifting membership, whether it's jumping in the membership, whether it's the Cash App, the PayPal, however. We get you on that board, and we appreciate you guys humbly, respectfully saying the best. You guys, we have the best fans of all YouTube. Let's just call it what it is. Speaking of the love, as we're getting out of here, we got another 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. It's not McLovin. It's the man trying to catch McLovin. Jason Renfro with the 5 on it. Yeah. Jason in the house jumped up there with a $5 holler and a Go Cowboys. And Jason's getting closer. By the way, Jason, in case you were wondering, if you see me on Amash's channel, if you see me on other channels, whatever channel may be, and if I'm open to taking a shot, I'm just saying, I'll take a shot. The $10 deal, the whole thing. The difference is, Jason, is that money, those drops will still come back here and be tallied to the numbers here. So I got you all caught up, brother. Master Sua in the house. Welcome to the family here at MCF. Appreciate you. Welcome. And I don't know what kind of fan you are, which team. Well, here we say Go Cowboys. Thank you. Welcome to the family. We're getting to that 32,000. By tomorrow, we might be at 32K, guys. So, hey, little mini celebration on Saturday when we get back on things. So I just wanted to say, yes, much love to Jason Renfro. He dropped the 5 on it. It said, Go Cowboys. And, yes, he is getting closer. He's now, 19 back, I think it is? 19 back on second place on the overall board. 19 back on the Cash App lead. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you're 26 back, 27 back on first place on Marissa Sparkle's side of things. So you just never know. We got Saturday, Sunday, got some After Dark. Might happen tonight, tomorrow, over the weekend. So we'll see. Still got technically a long way to go in a way, right? Thank you all again, guys. Jason, USMC, Rolando Rodriguez, everybody have a great night. Thank you for your drops of knowledge in the chat, the drops of love from above. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back on Saturday for another one. Sunday to the finale here, wrap up the week, and crown some champions. And guys, we'll keep you updated on all the news, info, and updates as they come down the pike, as they come down here, and we get it back to you all. So thank you for rocking with us. And before we can clock out and drop out officially for the night, relock and reload for a weekend barrage of shows, never forget the number one thing here, My Cowboys Family. And before we can drop out of here for the night, as the wife always says, we got to drop the beat. Oh, hell yeah. The beat's been dropped. She dropped in here for about half the show, and now we're dropping out, guys. Thank you all. once again, as we wrap up, another informative Cowboys chat. Hell yeah. Got the little Zimmer. Micah talking about Zimmer and feeling good about it. Situation with Biadasz at center. Where do we go? Some free agent talk. Mike McCarthy's all-in viewpoint on things. Oh yeah, go back and watch it if you missed it, guys. It was a good one. A couple free agent names to keep an eye on. And we keep doing our thing here every single night on that M to the C to the F. Right here, where it's about that navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything, guys. Never forget the number one thing here on my Cowboys family. Much love to everyone in the house. Friend or foe, guys, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Set it. I mean, you got to subscribe first, so make sure you subscribe. We're getting close to 32,000 family members, subscribers. And, of course, hit that notification bell. Set it to all videos so you know exactly when and where we're going live on the nightly. We try to do it on the nightly, 6.5+ years. We also got, all social media, Twitter X, at MyCowboysFamily, Discord, description. All the descriptions are in the, everything's in the description. You guys know what I mean. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace out. Everybody, stay safe. Much love to all. And, of course, never, ever forget... Yeah, Cowboys!